Alright, so here I am in the kitchen. I've done the rest of the insulation over in this corner here. It's all insulated. Use a little bit of the old yellow stuff there. And this is what it's looking like here. I put these plates in here. This is kind of a invention thing I made. I had to shim it all out because of the way this window is, so there's going to be shims throughout this whole wall. Putting these things in before the insulation was really difficult. I should have waited on the insulation, but they're in now. They're pretty sturdy. Not pretty, but sturdy. So I've got the nail tools there. For this wall here, it's too close to the pipe. There's too much stuff going on here, so I'm just going to make sure I nail it in careful and get it right when I do that over here. The rest of it's all going to be nailed in, and I'm starting to get there. I need to put one piece right there still, one piece right there. These were already here from the previous work. So here's the new plumbing right there. So the place is a mess. The garbage can's a little over heavy right now, so I'm going to take the rest of this out next week. That's pretty close to being it for right now. I was going to put two switches right here off of this block here. Off of this here is a spacer block. And put one switch for a light up there. And I'm going to put one switch for the garbage disposal. On the adjacent side over here, I was going to put a plug in just as another GFI outlet like that one right there. That way I'll have plenty of outlets here. Through the floor right about here, I've got plenty of holes to choose from to run the dishwasher wire. So I'm going to be doing that. Wiring this weekend's been a real pain in the butt here. So this is just going to be a junction box. It'll be behind the refrigerator, so I'm going to expose it. There's no reason to hide it. This is a good wire right here. It just needs a new plug outlet because that outlet's pretty bad. I'll probably nail this off to this stud right here. The integrity of these studs has been compromised with this pipe here, which they already were compromised. I mean, my plumber kind of widened them up a little bit more, but this pipe is thicker than the one that was originally there. So the other pipe was 1 3/4 steel. This one's 2-inch PVC. So I was a little surprised by how much larger this pipe is. So I'll go down the basement and I'll give you a video from there. Thank you very much. So from the back perspective here with all this, I was wondering, and I'm kind of thinking that it might be a good idea to go ahead and put in some additional outlets. So if you have any ideas as to any outlets I should wire before it's too late, let me know. This is the last of the MC light wire. Connecticut changes its wiring codes all the time, so they're going to be going back to the 2-wire. So I'm glad I saved the 1970s stuff, even though I don't think it's as good. But New York still goes by the other code, so New York's code's better than Connecticut's. Connecticut changed theirs for the worse, so that makes no sense to me. But then, neither does the government in Connecticut. So, over here is where the new piece of plumbing was piped in, right there. So he's got that strapped up there. I added this strap here myself because it felt like the thing to do. So, this plumbing here is all in good shape. Like he said, this piece of steel pipe here is in really good shape. And as you can see, the plumbing's mostly new here. He's ran all new packs. in through here. Supposedly the dishwasher hose runs from underneath the sink now. It doesn't run from underneath. So that's kind of unusual. This piece of wire right here, if the switch were on, it would be live. This is the dishwasher wire, so I'll be wiring that in right off of this box right here. But Tim was wondering here about the gas line and grounding it. So he's talking about that yellow hosing stuff there. So I don't know if you can see this. I left the light upstairs. But this right here is just a brass piece of connector that's strapped right to the thread. And this is just number 8 wire. You'd need the green stranded number 8 wire, since it's outdoor what you're doing, Tim. But you just run that, and you just run it to a lightning rod, which you might have one right there actually. But Dad could probably answer that question for you. Me, I ran mine to the water lead, so mine's grounded to the water pipe, which is perfectly good in the city application like I have later. And just one other thing I just thought of, Tim, here. This right here, this piece of green wire like this, the stranded cord. I don't know if you can see that. But that's number 8 ground wire. That's what I'm talking about that you would use for the pool since it's an outdoor application. So up here, as you can see, I've insulated it all up in here. But this is a very big header piece right there. That's a piece of 4x4 header. And like I said, this was compromised from the previous pipe, as you can see. My plumber did widen it out, but it doesn't matter because it was protected by this stud here, and then there's a stud right here that was also holding it. So the integrity had already been compromised, so there was no reason not to widen it up. This one is a much more load-bearing board, and it doesn't seem to be affected, but I don't like it, so I have a potential fix in mind. So if I come over here, this steel bar here came out of my recliner, and I've turned the flashlight off now. I've drilled some holes in the back here to feed these screws through. So this is pretty thick gauge here. This looks like it's probably, I don't know, it's probably good 8 gauge steel, maybe 10 gauge steel. It's pretty heavy. Maybe it's not that much, but it's pretty heavy. I'm running lots of screws in, so I'm hoping, and I got this little piece of furring strap in here to add some rigidity, so I'm hoping that won't be perfect. It certainly isn't the best, but it's something to put up there. And like I said, it's been probably like this for almost 100 years, and it's been fine, so probably not necessary, but it only takes a second, so I'll be putting that up there. Thank you.